Welcome to Meet the Author, where you can join in on insightful conversations with best-selling and award-winning indie published authors. Your hosts today are Rob and Joan, who themselves are indie published authors, book publicists, and paranormal investigators with Tampa Bay Spirits, based in Tampa Bay, Florida. Thanks for dropping by. And now, on with the show.
Good evening. I'm Rob.
Hello, I'm Joan. I'm happy that you're watching us or listening to us, whichever it is. We're really glad that you chose to do so. I do want to thank all of our international viewers. We have a large listening audience all around the world, and we appreciate the fact that you tune in and listen to us. I see we have a comment already. Orlando. Hello.
Hi, Orlando.
Orlando says, hello, Rob and Joan. And George just moved let's get her going. You betcha. We are trying to. Anyway, I do want to thank our international audience, and it's really wonderful that you all tune in and that you listen, and we appreciate it. We would love to have you listen live, watch live, make comments. We enjoy your comments. We love your comments, as a matter of fact, and we would really appreciate if you subscribe to our YouTube.
Absolutely.
What is the name of our YouTube so they can subscribe there?
Meet the Author Podcast. That's where you can just put that in there in the search and you'll find it.
And
speaking of international audiences, not yet though.
Mary Dave Valario says hello.
Hello.
We're so glad you're in the audience tonight. And Kirsten,
up in
howdy
the
from the
north.
Northern Tundra.
Ice Cube Central.
It's been cold here, so I can't imagine you guys up in the north. I'm just, so sorry.
No kidding, right?
Orlando said you guys look great.
Oh, thanks. So do
Thanks,
you,
Orlando.
but we can't see you.
We know.
Your
Orlando
icon
looks
great.
great. He's so nice. Joe Conjal says, hi, Rob and Joan.
Hey,
hope
Joe.
you had a great Christmas weekend. Yes, that's what else I wanted to say. I hope everyone else out there enjoyed their Christmas.
Yes.
Wallace says, hello, everyone. I think Rob's getting upset.
No, this is fine. Go ahead, carry on.
But I did. I wanted to say
no
I
problem.
hope you really had a Christmas.
No problem.
Good Christmas.
What I wanted to do, since this is our New Year's, the end of the year, last show, I wanted to recap last year on our podcast, the top 10 countries that over the last year, starting with number 10, believe it or not, listening to the podcast, okay, not watching live, but listening to the podcast, Japan. Number 9 was Colombia. Number 8, Brazil. Number 7, Australia. Number 6, New Zealand. Number 5, India. Number 4, Bangladesh. Number 3, United Kingdom. Number 2, our brothers up in Canada. And then, of course, U.S. is number 1 because that's where we are. But I think it's like down to, so it was about 60% U.S. and the rest was all other countries. So we've got quite a global reach.
Including Cameroon. Cameroon probably came in 11th.
Yeah,
they listen quite a bit. We do have a few more.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Paula says, hello, everyone. And Mari says, hi, thank you. Yes, you're welcome. We're glad you're here. Heather Mudgett says, hello, forgive random posts from my floofy assistant likes to get on the keyboard. Our daughter has a very floofy assistant, too, who's even said hello during her work day. She works from home.
There you go.
Audrey Cianki, I'm sorry, says hello.
You're not sorry she says hello.
No, I'm sorry I'm brutalizing her name.
Oh, okay.
Well, Hollis says, wow, congratulations.
No kidding, right?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are making it happen.
Yes.
You guys are making it happen. They want to hear about you,
Mari,
you
you're
authors
from
out there.
Romania?
Mari, that's great.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll get you further up on the list at the end of next year.
Get some more people in Romania
Encourage your
listening.
friends. Tell them to tune in. Yeah.
And I did get Audrey's name. Good Glad.
Cool. Okay, let's get our business out of the way before we bring in Chris.
Our guest.
Voice of Indie podcast immediately following this show. blogtalkradio.com with host Beam Weeks and Gary G's. They have interesting guests. Not all of them are authors. Some of them are musicians and other interesting people that they've got on their show. It's a call-in kind of show where you can call in and talk live on the radio, like it's a talk radio show. At the end of our show, we run an ad for them. It tells precisely how to get over to their podcast, and it's immediately following ours. So you'll have time. You can pop in there and hear most all of their show. Tonight's their guest is Mark Herndon, who's a Country Hall of Fame drummer, I believe, and Leah Seawright, and I think she may be an author. I'm not sure. But anyway, those are the people that'll be on tonight. Episode Rewind. Our Rewind is going to be Saturday night at 5:30. This Saturday is psychic and author John Russell, episode 58. And
waiting for his next book to come out, by the way.
Right. He's you can watch it right where you're at right now on the same link that you just went to.
Whatever
same channel
you're on.
Yeah. And then next Wednesday, we start the year out with a New York Times and USA Today bestselling author, Ron Francel. He's an author, journalist, and reporter. Got quite a fascinating career. And,
he's a true crime writer.
He's a true crime writer. That's right.
And a fiction writer.
That's right.
Both.
Let's go over here for a second.
Okay, then I have some more comments.
Here's the Voice of Indie. These are the folks that are going to be on, Mark Herndon and Leah Seawright. And then I wanted to tell you also about Siren Hunter is available now for pre-order. And you go to mayanartintl@yahoo.com right there on your screen to pre-order that. It's available in February. The advance sale price is only $12. No payment necessary now. You just need to get on the mailing list. So you can go over and order your copy today.
Okay.
That's all of our business.
Okay, we have a few more comments. Joe Conjal says, it is so nice to see what a success this podcast has become. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. And you're one of the factors for making it that way.
And Mari says, yes, she agrees with them. And it is. It's really wonderful. Okay.
Let's take down our Siren Hunter off of there.
Not that we necessarily
don't want it on there. Okay. So you want to introduce Chris?
Yes. I'm sure that those of you who are regularly in our audience know our next guest, know him pretty well because he's usually in the audience. His name is Chris Chrisman. So let's bring him on right now.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Welcome.
Hi, Rob and Joan. Hello, everybody.
This is the voice behind all the comments.
Yes.
I'm the person hiding behind the curtain usually.
This is the face.
There you go.
This is the face.
Yes.
So, Chris, why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm retired, happily married, got some kids, currently living in Missouri. I've been living in Missouri now 30-something years and have pretty much traveled everywhere around the country by motorcycle, believe it or not. My first car was a motorcycle. I built my own motorcycle, my own chopper, so to speak, and literally traveled everywhere with it.
That's exciting. I wouldn't do it, but it's exciting. I did used to do it when I was younger, but that was
it's an interesting way to see the country. I tell you, I've met a lot of friendly people in campgrounds, just the nicest people in the world traveling that way.
Definitely.
But it is not for the faint of heart. I will say that.
Paul Hollis says, welcome, Chris.
Hi, Paul.
And Marie says, hi, Chris.
Hi, Marie. Thanks for showing up.
Oh, Marie. Sorry, Marie.
I think it's Marie.
All right.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'll let us know in a minute here as soon as she types it in.
I think she knows who she's.
Everyone is very gracious.
I should say I was forced to retire. I should throw that in there too. I was not ready to retire. I retired in 2016.
Okay.
Okay.
Because of health issues.
Because of health issues, yes.
Yeah.
I should probably throw in, I'm a moderator for Orlando, so he has to be here. I made him be here.
He's already said hello.
Hi, Orlando. Thank you very much for showing up for my interview. I appreciate it.
Joe Conjal says, hi, Chris. Love motorcycling. You had an adventure traveling that far on a chopper.
Yeah, my first long distance motorcycle trip, I should say I was raised in New Jersey is where I'm from, in case you can't tell from the accent. Because I say water, not water, but I say water. My first long distance trip was from New Jersey down to Florida. And that was an interesting, because we were at the tail end of a hurricane. This was in 81, I think. That's a whole nother story right there. That wasn't bad enough. So the next year we decided to go to the Grand Canyon in Arizona for a 2-week trip. And that was another mechanically interesting trip. Let's put it that I blew out the transmission in St. Louis and drove from St. Louis to Kansas City with only second, third, and fourth gear. To where my dad was living in Kansas City at the time. Pulled in, I had to completely tear down the bike, completely take it all apart, replace a $12 shifter fork, and put it all back together. And that Monday evening continued on my trip to Arizona.
No more problems then, hopefully.
No more problems after that.
A few comments here. I told you that she would let us know. Marie.
Like Sound of Music, Marie.
Yeah. And this is Orlando Sanchez. He says, hi, Chris. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Thank you.
Joy Shelton York says,
Joy.
hello, Chris.
Hi, Joy.
Joy. We love Joy. And let's see, Marie says, hi, Orlando Sanchez. And she's saying that just so that you know, because she's on a different channel. So they can't see each other's comments.
She's in Orlando's readers group, and she's also in my readers group too. So
excellent.
That's how we know her.
And George says, Hurricane Carla, he's asking, is that the one that you chased down here?
I think it was. We were trapped in a campground in Georgia for 2 days waiting for it to blow over.
Yeah.
I would not recommend riding in a hurricane. It was, No.
So how did you get started writing?
Oh, wow. I've always been a reader. I mean, I would absorb books. My mom would take us to the library every week, and I'd come home literally with a stack of books. So, I mean, I've been a reader my entire life. And in fact, I think I was probably 11 or 12 when Mom convinced the librarian to allow me to go into the adult reading section, because I had read everything in the children's section. And that's when I got introduced to all of the good sci-fi, because I'm basically a hard sci-fi guy. You know, Asimov, Robert Heinlein, I mean, all the great guys.
We actually had one of our children on his birthday. That's how much
Really? I think
daughter Patricia was born on January 2nd.
My first, I would say, fanboy that I went after was Andre Norton. I literally had every single paperback book that she ever wrote. And what's interesting is I didn't find out until the 90s that she was actually a female.
Oh.
I never knew that her first name was Alice. Never knew that.
How about that? Yeah, interesting.
Orlando.
She is the one that introduced me to the world of magic, the Witch World series. That set it off for me.
Orlando says everything is connected. And
yes, Orlando. That is my catchphrase. That everything is connected.
And you are correct.
Whether we want it to be or not, we are connected.
I know. So let's all get along together.
Why can't we?
I think
So
never mind. I'll start singing a Coca-Cola tune here.
We can go. Yeah, I'd like to teach the world to sing.
You're a singer too.
Perfect timing.
This is awesome.
I'm a guitar player.
Orlando should be playing the music behind you there.
Yeah, there you go. I've got a couple guitars over here in the corner, and At one time in the early 80s, I think we had a big living room at the time, and I built a special shelf because I'd have friends that come over and we'd have jam sessions. I owned 7 guitars, a mandolin, banjo, violin, a couple of flutes. I had literally an entire band hanging on my wall back in those days.
Wow.
I love the mandolin.
Yes, me too. I could never learn to play it. My fingers were too big.
I'd love to play it too.
Yeah, we used to have worship meetings in our house, and everybody would bring all their instruments, and we had bongos and congos and mandolins and guitars and just everything. And the one young woman played the mandolin. Oh my gosh! That was my first public appearance. Was playing my electric guitar in like 68 or 69 in church. That was my first public appearance. That was interesting, shall we say. Yeah, it is. It's really great. Joe Conjal says, motorcycles and guitars, a man after my own heart. Yeah, just strap them on your back and go down the road.
There you go. Anywhere you stop, you can just drop your helmet down, play a song, and start collecting tip monies for some more gas money.
Takes a long extension cord for that electric guitar, though.
That is true. That is true.
All right. We're getting off the subject here.
Yeah, we can get sidetracked real easy.
Our first break. Do we want to go ahead and take our break and then come back and start talking about your books?
And your actual books, because Chris is an author, and maybe that is what we should talk about.
That's right. Yeah, we are an author show, aren't we?
No, that's right. Yeah. That's right. But we're a people show too. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Be back in a couple of minutes.
Sponsors.
Nobody go away, okay?
We appreciate our sponsors.
They thought the siren was dead. In the novel, Siren Song, by author George Dismukes, James Harmon shot her twice. Several people saw her dead body sinking slowly into the abyss. But now, in Siren Song 2, evidence suggests that she may still be alive.
She killed that boatload of people. It was her! And she's just getting started.
Angie, that's impossible.
The cold chill up my spine tells me it's not impossible. We've got to start all over again. And this time, do it right.
Siren Song 2. The story continues. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and many other bookseller websites. Get your copy today.
Welcome to Magnolia Bluff, Texas, a small town in the heart of the Texas Hill Country near Burnett Reservoir. A town where everyone's business is discussed at the local coffee shop. A town where neighbors look out for each other. A town not insulated from murder and mayhem. Which begs these questions. Who is responsible for breaking into quaint Victorian homes? And how are poodles, ghosts, drug cartels, and a Ponzi scheme connected with a serial killer? Caroline McCluskey, the town's librarian, catalogs books using the Dewey Decimal System. When a black and white poodle puppy arrives unannounced, she calls him Dewey. Now, Caroline must catalog events to identify a serial killer in her town. Pick up your copy of the Dewey Decimal Dilemma, now available on Amazon.
At Indie Booksource, you can shop. At Indie Booksource, you can shop by genre or by author, and you will be buying direct from the author's main purchase link. We offer hundreds of titles in formats that include ebooks, paperback, hardbound, and audiobook. Support an indie author. Visit indiebooksource.com today.
And we're back.
Yes. I really love that poodle. I think I want it. I'm not kidding either. But I think
no, you're not.
I'm saying it out loud in front of my dog. I don't think she's going to like it at all.
She's sleeping.
Okay, let's bring up your first book here. This is book number 1, Mixed Magic by Chris Chrisman. It's the first in the
Mixed Magic
series.
Saga.
Could you describe your book cover for those people that are listening and can't see the book cover, which is amazing, by the way?
Yes, Deranged Dr. Design did the cover, and they are just amazing in their work. Just blew me away. Okay, the cover has, and I should mention that my characters are older than your normal average young, hunky kind of guy. I wanted more middle-aged heroes in my book. Somebody needs to write something for people our age. So the guy on the left, the wizard,
yeah,
the wizard on the left is he's got long hair. He's holding a ball of energy in his casting hand in his right hand. The Earth Witch is next to him, and she's got a warrior outfit on, and she's got her wand, and she's doing some earth magic alongside of him. And the killer element is the Chinese mage that's at the top. He's got both of his arms outstretched, and he is covering up an energy portal. He is holding everything together.
That's a really good description. Thank you. I'm sure that people can see that. We have 2 more comments. Joe Conjal says the colors on the cover work really well together, and they do. They are turquoise and dark colors, and they are great. And Paul Hollis says, "Oh, great colors." And then George Dismuke says, "Damn right. Let's hear it for older, more mature characters."
Yes. I was just tired of reading of all the young, hunky guys that are falling in love with all the young, beautiful girls. There's more out there than just these young punk kids, shall we say.
Our 2 main protagonists in our books are in their late 40s, early 50s. So we agree with you. That's why we wrote them that way. Orlando Sanchez says, excellent cover. But yeah, a lot of people our age read books.
Exactly. I've seen the demographics, and yes, we read a lot.
So can you tell us a little bit about your first book?
Yeah.
Without giving it away.
Without giving too much away. The bad guy was an ex-Green Beret who vanished in the Vietnam War, and then turns up a few years later. He had been rescued by some monks in a temple, and over the years he became a protester against nuclear energy. Started a company, and because he thought nuclear energy was bad for the world. And it's current day times is when this takes place.
Okay.
He gathers a set of his ex-military buddies, and they take over the nuclear power plant that is just south of Kansas City. And he's threatening to blow it up, reactor, the China syndrome, melt down the reactor, unless the entire country shuts off and gets rid of all their nuclear reactor power plants. So, of course, the FBI gets called in, the Army guys get called in. But when he was in Vietnam, or I guess it would be Laos, somewhere over there in the Middle East, he found this staff that was left over from the ancient dragon wars. It's called Desecrator. It's the corruptor of minds. And slowly over the last 50 years, it had corrupted his mind enough to where he was just obsessed with stopping nuclear power. So, of course, he takes over the plant, and with the power of this magical staff, causes an earthquake. And, of course, the FBI and the military doesn't know what to do, so they call in the wizard to help save the day and keep it from getting blown up. And the wizard, of course, calls on his earth witch friend to help him out with the earth magic, because she can take care of the earthquake part of it. And then he calls in his Chinese friend, who he knew a long time ago in the Dragon Wars, because he needs someone to take care of the reactor. And he figured since the Chinese guy has lived for a couple of thousand years, he can take care of that for him.
I'm glad I don't have to live a couple of thousand years. I just
oh no, yeah, living.
Just let me put that out there.
I would agree with that. In fact, I've got a quote I tweeted out. It's like, yeah, I've lived for a long time, and I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. I think it's a curse. Going by the aches and pains that I feel these days, yeah. Only the good die young. The rest of us are stuck here.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know. That's the truth. We've known a lot of good people that have died young. Okay, let me bring up your second book here. And this one is called Wild Magic, and it's book 2 in the Mixed Magic saga.
Yes.
All right. You want to describe this?
It is the well, of course, he stops the bad guy in the first one, but one of the earthquake tremors slipped through, and the wizard and the earth witch try to trace down where it's going and what's going to happen next. Come to find out, it goes to Yellowstone National Park, which, as we all know, is a supervolcano.
Yep.
And this earthquake tremor was just enough that Yellowstone is about to erupt and change the western half of the United States forever.
Yeah, actually, that could happen.
Yeah.
Change our reservations.
Yep. Yeah, Yellowstone actually rises an inch or two every year, so it's going to blow. It's about 40,000 years overdue, according to my research.
Yep, that's what we've heard. Yeah, we were camping in Oregon, and we were hiking. We were on a ranger hike with a guided hike up one of the mountains.
Just outside of Eugene.
Just outside of Eugene, Oregon. And everybody else was wearing hiking shoes. I was wearing tennis shoes. And my feet started feeling hot. Mm-hmm. And I looked at the bottom of my shoes, and the rubber had melted smooth. Yep. And I said to the ranger, look at what's happening to my sneakers. And with that, he knelt down and he touched the side of the mountain, and he said, okay, everybody down off the mountain. And that was just before Mount St. Helens.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's what was happening. It was getting ready to blow. And it was really scary.
That was scary, yeah.
But that didn't happen, but maybe 2 weeks later before it blew. But I guess different things let off steam and stuff like that.
Yeah, the steam vents stretch all out, and actually
a bunch of those. We went into some of those.
Years later, we went into the tubes caused by the lava
tubes. Yep.
Then I have, a fear of being closed in. So Audrey says, this is such a great series. I love it.
Well, thank you, Audrey.
Are you waiting for book 3, Audrey? Because I see that there are only 2.
Yep, book 3 is coming out this spring.
Awesome. And Marie says, fumerals. Yes, that's what it is. And Kirsten Hall said, yikes. Yes, it was yikes.
Yeah, the research for both of these books was, oh my gosh, I think I spent about a third of my time researching as much as I did writing, because if you're going to blow up a reactor, have to know how it works in order to save it, right?
Oh, you do, or else people people that know
somebody will point out
the story.
Yes.
They won't be able to enjoy it.
Yes. Trust me, everything about the reactor in book 1 is 100% accurate. 100%. I could probably operate a nuclear reactor at this point.
And people do care about that.
Okay.
I do.
Hey, when 3 Mile Island happened, I was living in New Jersey, and we were downwind of 3 Mile Island, and it was a very, very scary thing.
Well, Kirsten, who just made the comment about yikes, she's in Minnesota. That's not that far away from Yellowstone.
Well, if Yellowstone, the actual Calandra, the entire part of Yellowstone, oh my gosh, it's about the size of Rhode Island. I mean, it would literally destroy the western half of the United States.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
So Joe Conjal has a question for you. He says, okay, the big question, LOL, gotta know, are you a plotter or a pantser?
See, I knew this question was going to come up.
Yeah, you did.
Because I have asked this question myself.
That's what you always ask, right?
I would say it's a loose plot, and it's more of a pantser than a plotter. Now for book 1, I actually have had the plot, a 2-page plot for that since 1980. I wrote the plot for that after watching the China Syndrome. I'm like, well, hey, what would happen if somebody decided to try and create a reactor core meltdown? So I've had the plot since then. I've just changed it and added magic to it and make it more relevant.
Yeah. Ann Chrisman says, in between the premise of his characters, there's plenty of humorous banter and snarky, hilarious comments, says Wifey, LOL. Hi, Wifey. We're glad that
Thank you, Ann. I appreciate the comment.
Yeah, I appreciate the comment too. And Kirsten said, yeah, if Yellowstone blows, we're all in trouble. Yeah, the whole world is actually in trouble.
The whole world is,
super volcano.
Yeah, we would go into not quite a nuclear winter, but it would be the same effect. It would change the climate for a long time, and we'd have another ice age.
Oh, Kirsten has a question for you. Will you do reads and reviews for other sci-fi authors?
Sure. I have no problem reading and reviewing.
Good.
Awesome.
Did you want to read an excerpt from one of your books?
Sure, I would love to do that. My wife actually talked me into doing this.
Good.
Oh, and before you do that, I want to remind everybody that's watching from YouTube to go ahead and click that subscribe button, because we need all the help we can
subscribe,
do.
and share. Subscribe, and share. Yes.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay, Kirsten wants to know, what's your email? Kirsten, we're going to give his email in just a little while.
Shortly.
We'll be giving out all of his contact information, and you can copy it down then.
Yep, I'm everywhere on Facebook and YouTube. I'm around everywhere.
All right, as soon as you're done with your reading, we're going to break for our second break, and then we'll come back with all your contact information and the book giveaway.
Okay,
Sounds
Kirsten,
like a plan. Are you ready? One more?
After the next commercial break. Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, and this is from book 1, and this is how it starts. We have a quote. There is no such thing as a painless lesson. They just don't exist. You're retired. Start acting like it, you foolish old man. You can't afford any more damage to your body. Your scars have scars. Annie's words, a constant reminder of who and what he was. Zardoz pulled off the interstate. The dim lights of the tiny gas station, the only illumination in the pitch black sky of Nebraska. Downshifting smoothly, his tired body reacting on instinct, the motorcycle beneath him an extension of his being. Reaching down with his right hand, he threw a switch, instantly silencing the custom exhaust system he had installed. No magic, purely mechanical. No one with magical abilities would be able to follow him to this remote location in the middle of nowhere. The ley lines' energy intertwining ensured that this was a null location. Keeping his home isolated from magic was critical to his role as a guardian of the magic world. Bootstrap was his friend, computer people will get that. Bootstrap was his friend, but he'd be damned if he would travel to hell to help rescue him. Not that he couldn't go with the rescue team. He wanted to go with them, truth be told, but his Annie would kill him for even thinking about taking the risk. That's why he was using the secret backdoor entrance to his home. He never lied, ever. Of all of the often outrageous rumors surrounding his name, that one was true. Every word he spoke was the truth. Why? Because words have power. Some words more than others, as anyone who has ever had to face the wrath of his spoken words to their face could tell you. That is, if they hadn't been erased from universal written history. Delete. Such a simple but powerful word. One of the few that possessed multiple layers of possibilities. Unlike die, perhaps the most powerful word in all the universes, it had but one outcome, death. All wizards, mages, and witches used words in their casting, basic spell casting 101, but it was the personal power of the caster, their core being, that was the source of that energy. Words directed that energy. How that energy was used determined the power of the magic. Looking up the countless stars stretching across the sky, he let the sheer wonderment of the boundless universe wash over him, cleansing his mind and body of negative energy. No magic, only the natural energy of the universe that connected everything. That energy was something everyone was connected to, and while many were aware of it and used it to varying degrees, only rarely could a human tap directly into the source as he could. That's what made him a guardian of magic. Grounded to the earth, he let the energy flow through him. Wave after wave caressed his skin, causing it to tingle, electrified by frequencies unknown to human science. Sounds in the ether, Tesla called it, claimed he could hear it. They called him mad, yet Tesla invented modern electricity, alternating current. Science, not magic, powered the world today. Perhaps Tesla was not so mad after all. The tingling feeling increased until it felt like his body was on fire. Spark danced from his fingertips, eyes brightened with an intensity showing barely contained power. Using his casting hand to cover the pendant, it shut off the flow of energy from the source. The night's darkness once more surrounded him, a familiar old friend. He was safe in the dark.
Wow, that's really good. I just want to say there's also a lot of truth in what you just read. I mean, words are eternal.
Yes, words matter. Words
they do. It's a bell that's been rung. It can't be unrung.
Exactly.
That's right. Let's take our 2-minute break. We'll be right back, and we'll do our book giveaway and
give out
all the contact information for you and talk some more about your books.
So don't go away, Kirsten.
Don't go away.
And don't go away anybody else.
Madison Jackson loved being a cop. A young girl is raped and murdered near Burnett Reservoir. Madison vows to get justice for the child. Madison travels to the heart of Mexican cartel country. She is kidnapped, tortured. Will Madison ever make it home? Justice by Kelly Marshall, only at Amazon.com.
Many secrets are hidden within the darkness of the jungle. Behold, this one about a man, a woman, a black jaguar, and an ancient Maya legend. Two Faces of the Jaguar is a novel by George Dismukes, that will take you deep into the jungle and capture your imagination until the last word. Two Faces of the Jaguar is book one of a trilogy. Two Faces of the Jaguar, where only the adventurous dare to read.
Two Faces of the Jaguar, The Lost City, and The Jaguar's Quest are available on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and many other bookseller websites. Two Faces of the Jaguar, the book people are talking about. Get your copy today.
In a world where advancing technology is outpacing crime solving, the O'Rourke team continues their relentless pursuit of justice. Bioprints is the first book in the O'Rourke crime novel series where it's high-tech crime versus old-fashioned detective work. Visit carternovels.com or amazon.com and check out Bioprints today. We're back.
We are back. And let's give everybody all your contact information. Okay. You know what? This sticker has never been showing. How do you like that?
Wow.
There we go. Now we know who you are.
You got to click on the button.
There you go.
There you go. I have one job to do. All right. Website is chrischrisman.net, and that's CHRISCHRISTMAN, of course, .net. Facebook also is Chris Chrisman. Now, Twitter is his character, so that's at Zardoz74.
Yep.
It's ZARDOZ 74. Instagram is Chris Chrisman, the number 2. Not the word, the number 2. And his email is chrischrisman2@grm.net.
Now, the book giveaway, you want to do this a little different than what we normally do. You've got 3 copies to give away.
Yes. And what I would like to do is, because you guys are on the different platforms, whoever emails me, when you email me, just mention where you listened or watched the podcast. If you were on YouTube, mention YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, mention